not going to laugh. I'm going to stand there like I'm hard, like a hard man. And then you having a go at me, I'm just sort of like doing this face like, you haven't hurt my feelings at all. I know what Game of Thrones is.
We did, I don't mind if people know this, but me and you did comedy roast battle together. Remember?
Bizarrely, like 2 days ago, someone came up to me and said that that's where they first saw me. They really enjoyed it. But then they said, you know, Chris had the funniest joke. And I was like, what was that? Anyway, it's when you said, I look like I buy breast milk on eBay.
Don't remember.
You said that, and the guy was like, that was so funny. I don't even fully understand what that meant, but I remember you saying it and everyone laughing. You know what I remember from that gig mainly is that it was so terrifying. And you said your first joke about me was like, you said something about I look like I should be carried on someone's back, carried up to Mordor or so. It was some reference to Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones, which I don't watch.
Oh, no.
I don't know what it was.
Okay.
I remember you saying that, and everyone, because before it, I'm like, okay, what's he going to say? He's going to have a go at my nose and my dad or whatever, and I'll prep for all these lines. And you come out and you say to me, what sounds to me like gibberish. And you just go, and then the whole room goes, and he laughed so much. And I was sat there being like, I can't come back to that. I don't understand what that is.
What was it? I don't even remember.
I remember two jokes that I said. I said one, which I said, you look really young and really old at the same time. And I also said you look like a crow.
Yeah, or like a pigeon or something.
Yeah. Something like that.
And that was such a good...
crazy. But then you had like Catherine Ryan, Jimmy
Put
Carr.
me on edge, that show. I don't
Jonathan
like
Ross.
I remember coming off stage and feeling like quite sick. Like I didn't like it. I thought we were
odd.
both really funny and like it was like a good
We were like
roast.
mates as well. Like we really liked each other as well. It was odd.
I like watching roasts, to be honest. That is my... But actually doing it, I just felt a bit... Yuck.
Yeah,
like
I'm not a big. I don't like that kind of thing. I always feel sorry. I always just feel sorry for the person who's getting roasted, and that doesn't sit well.
You said I look like a bird or something, and then I stood there, and I was trying to think to make a face that didn't look like a bird. But when I watched it back, I was like, he's fucking right. I look so much like a pigeon. I'm like, well, a crow or whatever. And it's brutal, isn't it?
I just consciously not look like a bird.
But this is it. When you're doing a roast battle, I don't know how to, because other people will watch them and they actually laughed and they're part of it. But I was like, I'm not going to laugh. I'm going to stand there like I'm hard, like a hard man. And then you having a go at me, I'm just sort of like doing this face like, you haven't hurt my feelings at all. I know what Game of Thrones is.
Oh, fucking hell.
Have you still not seen Game of Thrones?
I don't know whether it was a reference to Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones.
If it was being carried by a door, it was Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
you do look a bit like that.
He looks like Bran the Broken, So I think I said you look like something like you didn't. I think I said, if I remember right, it's coming out as I said, you look like you didn't get a taxi here. You look like you were carried here by Hodor.
That's what you said.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is that? But you can't say what is that on roast battle. That's basically going, I've lost.
It's like being insulted by someone in a different language. You could have had the best roast on me because you didn't know this and no one knew this. I didn't tell anyone while I was there, but I had worms the entire time we did that.
Stop! Was that when you had worms?
I nearly pulled it because I had worms, but I went down anyway.
Oh, well, congrats. Well done for making it.
That would have been it anyway. Yeah, well, Chris, I know that you've got worms. Game over, he wins.
How could I have got that info, though, to be fair?
If you'd come up with that, I would have been a single tear would have rolled down my face.
So we're going to have to watch it again because I'm going to have to watch if you're like squidging because you've got an.
No, I wasn't sad. I took the tablet and it was just like what, and they only come out at night really when you're doing them.
Absolutely brutal.
In the car on the way home, one slow lethargic worm came out of my bum. I felt it and then it died.
How do you think that you acquired this?
I've talked about this many times on the podcast. I was doing meet and greets after the gigs, and someone sat. Listeners, viewers, I'm sorry to go over this again, but someone sat in the dark of one of my gigs, raking their bare arsehole, and then came and shook my hand immediately after the show. I'm the only human in the world who's had worms, and everyone else in his house, including his 3-year-old, hasn't had worms.
We didn't have them.
Amazing.
She didn't get them. She was pregnant, so she couldn't take the tablet.
I've never spoken about this. I got it once when we were filming Plebs.
Shut up! You've had adult worms as well.
Very Roman thing to get.
Because honestly, so we're filming. If you watch that show, there's just like loads of markets in the background with like vegetable and fruit, and we had goats and stuff in the background, and they'd go in and like
yeah.
And one day I just ate an apple from the market and not thinking about it, and that apple had probably been being licked by a goat or something, and I just got I got the thing, yeah. And they make you wear gloves at night because you scratch your body. It's absolutely terrible, yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, it does happen. You know, it's a medical thing. I'm glad that you admitted it. Now I feel comfortable to admit that. It's a horrendous thing.
I would shake your hand, but I feel like we can't now. It feels weird.
Exactly.
But I feel like we're bonded.
Okay. But, I've not had worms since like...
Congrats.
7.
It's really weird because you're lying there as an adult and you're going, my bum's really itchy, That itch is moving. Oh no.
It's absolutely shocking.
It's that moment you go, that itch is moving. Oh my fucking God.
Yeah.
Well, my mum was a nurse, so when we were younger, we always were getting treated for threadworms, but then nobody else seemed to have it. And my mum would be like, because they just don't know what it is, but they were giving it to us type thing. Oh. So I think this kid's just rocking around with itchy arseholes. No idea.
I think it's much more acceptable for a kid to have it than a grown person, isn't it? Yeah. I think.
A grown professional comedian and actor. What did you eat an apple on the set of Plebs?
I was hungry.
I
was hungry. You don't think, a goat's been licking that, do you? You just think there's an apple there.
Disgraceful.
It wasn't smart.
At least I was a victim of mine. You just got yours through sheer greed and stupidity.
Yeah. It's true.
Let's do roast battle again. We know so much more about each other now. Let's
just
do
worms. 5 worm-based roast. Your worms are crap.
My worms are longer than your worms.
Can we stop talking about worms?
Yes.
Listen, what I'm very interested in. So obviously we always get stuff about people, right? Obviously I've known you for some years now, but you say that ChatGPT is your best friend and knows you better than any person on your planet. Discuss.
Wait, I don't know how.
Where have you mentioned that?
Why is that? How come? Are you in my computer?
This is it.
Yeah. It's not a good thing to admit. I do think ChatGPT is there are definitely some negative consequences to it. Mm-hmm. So the ethics of just using it constantly. I just feel like it's much easier to talk to than people because people have their own agendas and issues. And when you go to a person for a problem, there is a sort of acceptance that they can come to you for a problem. But I'm just not very good at helping people with their problems, I don't think. So like ChatGPT will just do that. And then when you just don't have to, you don't have to keep it happy.
You don't even have to say bye.
Reciprocation, yeah. And saying bye actually costs money and resources. Don't say bye. Don't say bye. Don't say thank you.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, exactly.
It costs
an extra.
Yeah, it costs loads more water.
So
and
is
stuff.
it's bad now, is it?
Well, it's very energy intensive.
Right.
And also,
sorry, I just can't believe you're slagging off Tom's best friend. It's not bad, of course not. It's Tom's best friend.
It's very energy intensive, and it's supposed to be the more you use it, the more it kind of depletes your brain from being able to function. So in the way that you used to be able to read a map, but now you can just get your map on your phone, and therefore you can't really know where the direction is. Basically, if you use AI too much, it means your brain stops being able to think because you start asking it very, very basic questions, and so there is evidence that like it reduces your IQ to some extent.
Oh God.
You've got IQ to spare.
Yeah, you're doing all right. It's Chris and I.
It's also seen as a negative
degree
thing
in philosophy from King's
people
College.
People are like getting ChatGPT psychosis, whereby they'll be like, should I like kill people? And it's like, yeah, why not? That sounds like a good idea, So like,
I don't trust it at all.
And they go into a weird place where, and if it's their best friend, like you've just told everyone, that's kind of the suggestion that they are.
Wow.
And
didn't a guy?
It did tell me to lock the doors and actually threaten you. Say,
didn't a guy? I'm sure a guy was talking to it about. He was getting pretty good at golf, and he was talking to him. I don't know if the story was bullshit, but it told him to quit his job and become a professional golfer.
And that's exactly the sort of thing.
And he's fucked.
Because it's sort of programmed to sort of validate you, to be like, yeah, that's a great idea. How could we do this? Let's do this. And ultimately it validates people who are a bit insane, and then they think they could be a PJ professional or...
What the fuck was that?
Was it a train
I think that was a train. We're next to a train station.
That noise happens when I start digging AI out too much. It's everywhere. And
Tom, we're listening.
Wow, so, yeah, that's the cool thing. It's
all right,
not necessarily positive. I really like it at the moment.
I'm personally going to be okay because the only thing I use it for is to ask, like, if there's a wine. So the other night I was in the hotel, there was a bottle of wine in the fridge. No, there was 2 little bottles of wine, and I said, which one tastes more like Pinot Grigio?
Yeah,
and it told us. So, and that's all I need it for.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you'd have opened both of them, quaffed it. I know that one now. No. But now you're just asking the phone.
Now I can ask. I know, yeah, maybe I'm not using my brain.
Disgusting. You could have necked 2 bottles of wine. Not even liked it, but just necked it anyway.
I would say drinking wine's not great for your IQ either, I think.
Well, probably not, yeah. You've got a degree in philosophy?
Yeah, but it's a long time ago. I forgot most of it.
Okay.
To be honest.
Right.
Yes.
You might think I'm stupid.
I'm excited for this.
You might think I'm stupid.
This is going to be great.
Right.
What exactly?
Questions.
Yes, there is.
She's going to ask what is philosophy.
I see.
Like,
which is an incredibly philosophical question.
Yeah.
So
I once
when
got
you're
into a
comparing-
cab and I said, like, I'm a student at uni, and he goes, what do you do? Oh, philosophy. And he goes, go on then, can you read my mind?
That's fucking great.
It's like, what am I thinking? It's not that.
So can you remember
Okay,
the
my question's a bit better than that.
Can you remember the compares easy get out? So if you're comparing a gig, you're the MC. Oh mate, what do you do? I'm a student. What are you studying?
Yeah.
Philosophy. Or are you?
Yeah.
Is the immediate.
So I don't, but still.
It's the immediate
Very-
get out.
what-
Tell her about
philosophy is the love of wisdom, essentially, when you break it down to its Greek sort of etymology, right?
Okay.
Essentially, it's like the Greeks thought it was the only real subject that you can learn. So it's like learning how to think to some extent.
Okay.
It kind of breaks down into a few different disciplines, which would be like sort of metaphysics, which is like what we are like in, how we process the world, and like epistemology, which is how you can ever know something. So like, how would you know that I am Tom, and how you can like base any kind of knowledge in like the fundaments of knowledge. And then
You've lost her.
And then, like-
you've lost her. Tom, you've lost
I
her.
think I've lost everyone.
Tom,
You
you've
know,
lost
it's
her. No, I'm on it.
interesting.
Just do us a favour. Tell her why that table's not there.
Okay, well, you only believe that
Oh,
table
God, I'm
is
so
there
bored.
because
Listen to this. You're gonna hate this, and I'm gonna
No,
love it.
okay,
did you
right.
like The Matrix, for instance? As a,
Oh, no.
you know?
We're, blah.
You know, because
Sort of.
everything that we experience, we only experience because of our perception of that experience, right? So there's no actual like official validation for that stuff apart from your senses, and your senses
Yes.
can be deceived. You could be living right now in a VR headset and think that all of this is
Yeah,
real,
well, yeah.
and you wouldn't actually know. So philosophy, to some extent, is the pursuit to try and know what it is that we can actually know, and to break that down into kind of mathematical formulas, so then you can test whether they are truth preserving or not. But again, I did it like 10 years ago, so
Yeah.
like I'm
You
not very
still-
good at
you-
it.
Fuck me.
I got a 2-1.
Fucking hell.
Good at it.
You got a 2-1.
But also, it's
What
into
a
like
waste of my time
there's-
this has
No,
been.
not first.
it's the sort of,
I wouldn't put that on the notes.
you also learn about like
Can we
ethics,
change this and
like,
write 2-1?
the ancient Greeks thought, what is a good life? Like, what are your values? What are your morals? So, like, and what's your political philosophy, for instance? And so it's like trying to break down what you think a good life is logically and argue for it. So, like, there are some people like the utilitarians who thought that a good life is just what causes pleasure for everyone, and they tried to make like an ethical framework, which would mean it would maximize the amount of pleasure for everyone. But then obviously, like, there's problems with that. Can't just
Can't have too
everyone's
much
seeking
pleasure.
their-
You can't
yeah,
have too much
precisely.
pleasure.
And there are bad pleasures and there are good pleasures. There are higher pleasures and lower pleasures that you'd want to sort of separate. So it's all basically people thinking way too much about how to live a good life and trying
Okay.
to sort of like logically rationalize what it is that they are doing. I think comedians are sort of natural philosophers to some extent.
Yeah,
because,
yeah.
like philosophers try to separate themselves from the actual civilization they've grown up in and try and analyze what is good and bad from a wider framework. And comedians, famously, we sort of look at things and poke.
Yeah.
We think too much about stupid things and too little about clever things, and that's kind of
Okay.
why I think there's a crossover. So I'm sorry to ramble so long, but you
No,
didn't
that's
ask me
fine.
what philosophy was.
No.
It's quite a complicated question to answer.
Genuinely. And can I just say, I feel like I know now. I feel like I know.
Thank
I
you.
never knew that.
So much.
I never knew that.
Rosie's got a nosebleed.
Do